Good. Yo,
That sounds dodgy, bro.
what sounds dodgy?
This means being recorded. The pop up comes up here. This meeting's being recorded. Continue, and it gives you the option to leave meeting. Who be funny like leave meeting? Yeah,
It's good because certain times people just started hitting the record button, maybe even innocently, but with all of these meetings, you don't know. Someone might be talking crud. You clip it up, and then I got him on
why are
a.
people like that though? Why though? Why would you do that to someone?
Bro, come on, man. You acting like you don't know human beings, bro.
Yeah.
All you got to do is mention Jews one time, bro. That's, that's it, bro.
Funny thing about that is, every time the Jews refute it, it's like kind of, do you know what I mean? Contradicting it.
I like you see that Chappelle device right there. It's like they just kind of, you know what I mean? It's very very clever. But yeah, I'm not even talking about the Jews themselves. I'm just talking about the fact that if you like people just know what they can put online and try and get a rise out of people. So it's good. It's good to know if you're being recorded.
But was that the case before though? Like when we were before social media, did we care what people said?
I mean, no. But I mean, like, to be honest, like, if you had a mad one, if you went off like the paparazzi and went on a rant, or you flipping got to Parliament and said something mad, or you got on live TV and said something mad, then it makes sense. But people ain't really that mad at what they can't see. You can tell somebody this is what they said
Interesting. People
when
are not
you
mad at what
see
they
it.
can't see. I like that line.
Well, yeah, I mean, who was it that had that joke about how when we saw the video of what was it? What do you say?
If I go on.
No, it was like the video of was it Ray Rice beating his wife?
Right. Yeah.
It was Cedric the Entertainer. That when he saw the video, that it was like, ah, man, it's something else. It's different from hearing that somebody just did something.
True.
Seeing is adds a new dimension to it.
So you saying video killed the wife beating game?
Whoa, brother, how can you drop it like that?
Like it was all good back in the day when there was just no cameras. We just used to hear about it. Now you can just see it.
You're moving mad today. Nah, that is not what I'm saying. I'm just simply saying that people's outrage is include as increased when you can visually see something.
But what is outrage though? Because people are outraged about Dave Chappelle's special to the point where they're asking it to be taken down. And the thing that makes me laugh is it's like if he didn't do that special, what would you have written about this whole 2 weeks now?
Bro, there's always something, man. There's always
Yeah,
something.
oh, you think there'll be something?
Yeah, come on, man.
Okay, okay. Because I
Come
felt like
on, bro.
he gave
Because the
himself
thing
good
is,
work.
you're still talking about what they're talking about now. People go back into history now. People go back and find
Oh,
that
so
one
when it's a slow news day, what did fucking niggas do 42 that we need to bring up that was popping back?
exactly. They'll pull out one obscure film noir film from 1953.
Or a
And
slave picture of a white man with his foot on the black person. It's like, this was Foot Locker in 1922. Y'all go shop at Foot Locker? Y'all don't hear me though.
oh, that's funny. That sounds like something you see on one of those pro black pages. They put the shackle on the foot. They be like, "Y'all know why it's called Foot Locker? They used to lock up the Negroes' feet, and y'all still
Oh,
shopping there. Y'all still shopping there." That's funny, bro.
but that's what it is. It's like, like you said, people will go and bring up old shit when it's a slow news day. All right, nothing's
Yeah.
popping in the world today. Let's just bring up what one guy did in 1921. It's like
But
when that is it the vice president in America? He got done for blackface, and
oh, that's the Prime Minister of Canada.
right, he was the blackface thing, and I was like, you think that's the first time they saw that picture? Like it was just hidden somewhere in his photo collection, and no one picked it up. Like, come on, man, he took that picture. That picture was on his wall. I just found it.
Yeah, it's a bit mad, but at the same time, like I think with him it was just a bit specific because he's always like very woke. So for him to have done it, it was like whoa, 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 what's all of this? But yeah, for most of these guys, like we all know, like we've all got some kind of questionable picture or post or whatever it is, like or
Well,
message that we've
something you said
sent.
that in the past that would have been, if they draw it up now, it would be wild. You know?
Yeah, everyone's got one of those.
Yeah.
Everyone's got one of those, man.
How about
But
seven?
bro, I thank God that I started doing comedy before people was recording everything on smartphones. You know, like people had phones then, but they didn't record everything like that.
Right, right. I mean, the thing is, with the whole cancel Dave Chappelle thing, it's like, you really think Netflix are going to take off something they spent every single penny they had to put on? Come on, man.
Yeah, throw that away. Throw away $20 million worth
In
of.
it, because people are upset, and this is everybody. And I love this thing now. We need to have the conversation, and I love these buzzwords now. We need to have the conversation, and it's like, yeah. So when are we going to have the conversation? I don't think we want to have the conversation. We want to have the idea that we're conversating.
Very, very true. And I was saying to somebody else recently that, my opinion as to why people have this is because, in every social media group, not social media, social justice group,
Right.
you can't be a moderate leader because the whole thing runs on being outraged. So you can't be outraged but balanced. If
No.
outrage is an extreme, you have to get to an extreme. So if you're gonna lead these movements, you need to be extreme, right? So in order for you to maintain being outraged, continuously stoke people's outrage, continue to be extreme, continue to lead these movements, you have to consistently find a reason to be offended. And so, after a while, none of these groups or the people that have deemed themselves activists or whatever it is, none of them get any points for being reasonable and balanced. No, none of them get points for thinking logically. None of them get points for weighing up the options. The points come from from being the most angry and being able to speak up and demand the most stuff and get the most disruption done. Disruption is the currency. So if they can get it taken down, then that's their victory. What's that?
You also have to have a good backstory.
Well, of course, of course. So this is what I'm saying, that like this activist industry
Mm.
is now incentivizing consistently finding something wrong with something and
Mm-hmm.
having things taken off, having more funding put a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
having more inclusion. I don't know if you saw this, but like the new Superman is gay, I think, as well. So it's like
No, he's not. He's gay. He has a boyfriend.
he has a boy. Well, yeah. I mean, that means he could be
I
bisexual,
was just thinking more
pansexual,
of a case
whatever.
of.
But I don't know.
I was thinking more of a case of like, if you were gay, would you really want a superhero as a boyfriend?
Bro, you be asking the questions we need to ask.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, I don't know how Louis Lane did it. You know what I mean? Like, that's super dick right there. Like, that nigga can punch someone and he goes through 4 buildings. I don't think that's the kind of guy I want in my ass. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Why are you like this, bro? Why?
He used kryptonite to get the dick down.
Nah.
I'm just saying, my concerns are different.
I I hear you, man. Oh man,
It's
that's
interesting
that's
because
grim.
Superman is I guess people assume it's a child thing. It's actually an
Yeah,
adult character. So
yeah.
they just made it cartoony. So it's interesting that they're trying to make the cartoon. I think people will
Do you mean
from
the comic, or are you talking about like the TV show, cartoon TV show?
the comic.
Okay, yeah,
I think it's interesting because people can. I think, well, from what I saw was they're like, why is everything sexualized?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know people say like, why are you constantly trying to insert sexuality into everything? And to be fair, like in a world where let's say it's just simple as like straight and gay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it was just those two. I mean, to what extent does that really have to have an effect on anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like to what extent, like if someone's about to do surgery on you,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, you never really check like, well, what do you like in the bedroom first before you do this operation? Like, in that situation, it has nothing to. It has no bearing. So when we now start to say, well, okay, why are we going to make another straight white male savior? We should, make him gay or bisexual or whatever. It doesn't. I'm not sure that what Superman may like in the bedroom has anything to do with most of the stories we read about Superman.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do know what the immediate answer back would be from a lot of people, which is representation. What's that?
Oh, nothing. I haven't said no.
I was I was saying representation. They're gonna say like it's good for young bisexual boys to see themselves represented as Superman.
And if you deep it as well, yeah, if you saw anybody like 20 years ago, but when we were growing up, walking down the road just as Superman, the first thing you say, that's gay, bro. That's the first thing you say. So,
Guy,
they were ahead of the times.
this guy.
But that's a gay ass costume, man. You see the yellow jock strap with the, you know what I mean, highlighting which is trying to highlight that Superman has big things, but he was a white man, so that was questionable. But my point is,
going on today.
my point is, I think people need a reason to be outraged.
That's it. That's it. They need a reason, and like I said, even if like nothing happens today, we can always go delve into history and say, look at what used to happen, and run that back again. Then we can drag up,
like that, man. But we just go into history and tear people like, but we don't bring out like celebrities. We just bring out like random people. Do you know he crossed the street and there's kids there and he didn't even slow down? What's he doing now?
Bro, I'd be surprised they don't go all the way back and start pulling up. Julius Caesar's barber, right? He used to touch women's bums, and that's why we need to go back and cancel Julius Caesar's barber. His barber came up with the Caesar cut, and that's
just attack regular people. Like if you get a promotion at work, just as an announcement, we just show up like a crew. Sorry, guys, just before you give this promotion, just wanted to let you know, 20 years ago when he was 7, he, looked up under a girl's skirt in school. This is the kind of guy you want to be.
Oh, my goodness. We're saying it like a joke now, bro. But don't be surprised one day if some people set that up as their mission, like to just show up at your workplace right as you're about to get the promotion, right as you're about to get like local businessman of the year award, right as you're about to flipping win your kid's sports day. They're about to put the medal around your neck. They show up and say, I want you to know that back in 2011. He took a performance enhancing starburst, and now that's the reason why he won. Cancel him. He should not be competing against.
A video of you daggering like in a Bashman versus Soccer club. Just dagger.
Like, bro.
Did she consent to that? Well, the Bashman was on, the music was moving.
Nah, to be honest, bro, I think that's going to be a real thing. I think there's going to be a future generation of woke black people who are going to look back at dancehall culture.
People. Oh, what black people? Oh, for dancehall culture.
Yeah, and they're gonna say that this was problematic. It was oppressive. Look at these women being crushed by guys jumping off of scaffolding. This was the patriarchy smashing and women.
On one side, you're like, this is wild. On the other side, you have to understand there's something artistic to it.
Of course there is. That's why people, if not, because you'd ask yourself, why would the women lie there with their legs open and plan all these mad moves and outfits and the competitions? Why would they do it?
And I said, either they are failed gymnasts because the flexibility is wild. How is Jamaica not winning the Olympics regularly in track, in everything? I saw a failed javelinist, or whatever the word is. I saw a ballerina. I saw an ice skating champ.
I saw a WWF champion waiting to happen. The way these men jump off these things with no fear.
No fear. The way they do the splits, the way they do the handstands.
Bro, have you seen the ones? Have you seen the one where they both climbed this tall chain link fence and they were daggering up in the air?
I saw someone daggering in the tree. You know what the wildest thing about the clip was? The leaves when they were moving. If you're a cameraman or a cinematographer or director of photography, you
Yeah.
want to capture those trees moving.
Yes.
This effect.
You want to cut to the close up of of a leaf falling off the branch.
It looked, and if you're white, it'll probably be like, "Oh my god, this is what it must look like in the jungle, black people in their natural habitat."
Bruh. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, it's been a weird week for me, man.
Why do you say that?
Well, as you know, I'm a huge football fan, right?
Okay.
And I know you're not.
You happy about Newcastle?
Well, I know you're not the biggest football person, but
Yeah.
you might have heard that my club got taken over.
Yeah.
How did you even hear that?
So in my day job, I work with a lot of the sports industry, and
The players were going nuts.
pardon?
Were the odds going nuts?
No. It was I was on the pay. I'm on the payment side, and the company I was speaking to is a big sponsor of Newcastle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bet Fun 88.
No, not them.
Not them.
Not them. No, a payments company. It's a payments company.
Okay. So so he told you about it.
So yeah, he said, like it would come out in the news. I'd seen it on Twitter and stuff, and then he was like elaborating on the fact that how lucky they were. They decided to sponsor, like a month ago or something.
Man.
And now it's, you can imagine it's an amazing call for them.
Because but how long is their deal?
I don't know actually. I don't know how long their deal is, but definitely at least if this season all this attention comes their way because of all the attention on the club, then it's a big payoff either way, even if it's just one season.
It is. Because we finna get them Albin Hashala adverts in soon. There's a lot of so I don't know if you know the context of the actual takeover in the sense where we were owned by Mike Ashley for 14 years, who was the previous chairman.
Yeah.
Now Newcastle has never been a Man United or a Liverpool or a Tottenham or an Arsenal. In terms of those clubs have histories of winning. Chelsea and Man City, not so much. Those clubs are somewhat what they call them plastic clubs because their history is quite new.
Yeah.
So Newcastle's always been that club that's just had historic moments or tradition and just been a good club and a worthy club to have in the country. And obviously when I came to in 96, people always ask me, why did you support Newcastle? Because it's just not a team you assume people will support. It's either Arsenal, Man United, and so on and so forth. But in that period when I came, they were doing well. And so we got this chairman, and it was just 14 years of just pain. Got relegated twice. You're the laughing stock. People used to mock. And last year, the takeover was supposed to happen, and it fell through because of beef between Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
Oh wow, yeah.
And also, Premier League clubs try to force they didn't want the deal to go through, so they used their little influence to sabotage the deal as well.
Wow.
But last week, Saudi Arabia and Qatar came to the table, probably beheaded a couple people, and then squashed the beef.
How can you make that sound like that's just the welcome greeting? Like
everyone says that. And now, then all of a sudden, within 24 hours, Ola, my club that was looking like we might get relegated this season is now the richest club in the world. And there's a few things that I noticed about, I guess, people in the world. The moment money comes in, you're a different person. I don't even have money for the club. I'm not even involved in the takeover. People were messaging me, oh man, I can't stand you. I hate you. And I'm like, nigga, I ain't even born nothing.
You need to go put that on your next credit check, bro. You know I support
Newcastle fan. I'm not good for it. I support Newcastle. So I started to realize how money can really change everything. Now all of a sudden, people that won't even write about us can't stop writing about us. And then there was the issue of the human rights reputation of Saudi Arabia. He's accused of killing Jamal Khashoggi. And I know you're sticking your lips at me like I don't care. But it's not even like, straight off, what does that got to do with my father's name? But I try to look at it like, okay, let's look at this from a real concern point. The wife of the journalist came out saying the deal shouldn't go through, Amnesty International. And these people just remind me of the same Twitter people we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Where you don't really care about his civil rights record or human rights record. It just looks good to pipe up when it's time to pipe up.
Yeah.
The truth is this: if he did any of these things that you're accusing him, why is he running the country?
Because they're sovereign. That's the thing. You can't really punish somebody who's sovereign. They are a law unto themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What they can do, what they can try and do, is try and limit the. So it's like I can't destroy your character, but I can make sure no one else is friends with you. So
Right.
I can kind of starve you out. And that's what that approach is. Yo, it's crazy because it's the kind of thing you see in like a teenage girl high school group friendship group thing where they'll sabotage one girl by turning everybody else against her. And it's like this happens on a pretty much global scale now. It happens in business, happens in the media, and yeah, that's the new wave now, man. That's the new wave. To be honest, yeah, I personally, the reason why I was doing Yimu was just it's only certain nations whose human rights record gets brought up because it's
At certain times.
And no one ever says, "Oh, don't do this deal with America. You see how they treat black people."
Right.
It says those, and even the same the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Come and see when we need to sell them arms.
Oh my goodness!
Did you see the I don't know if you would have seen it.
The adverts.
The advert where they put up the like welcome.
Yeah. All over the country. All over the country.
Like, y'all shameless, man.
Shameless, bro. You know the maddest thing? Here's the maddest thing. During the Jamal Khashoggi incident, thank God I was doing The Edge. So I had to read a lot about it. So I watched Question Time. The editor of the Daily Mail, I think it was the Daily Mail, she was on Question Time and they grilled her about Jamal Khashoggi incident. Do you know what she said? Now is not the time to make an enemy of Saudi Arabia. I said, oh, really?
Hey, that's some cold motherfucker.
It's a dirty game.
It's a dirty game, y'all. I be telling you, man.
And that's why I don't trip off of that. You know the maddest thing? They acting like Newcastle's the only thing Saudi Arabia own in England. But they own all of Stratford.
Bro, this is what I'm saying. The Qatari investment fund.
They own all of Knightsbridge.
The Saudi sovereign fund.
Come on.
Bruh, man, these guys done bought up their sovereign wealth fund is invested in so many companies that if you're going to divest from them, you got to start cancelling WeWork.
Everything.
You got to start cancelling Airbnb and whatnot.
He's on the board of so many companies. It's like this, yeah? You know when you go to them hotels in Dubai and there's a sheikh in every hotel? That's that nigga. That nigga. You go to McDonald's, you see me on the wall. I'm that nigga.
Yeah, man. Now these guys ain't stupid, man. They're not,
bro. And here's another thing. My part was this: the Jamal Khashoggi incident. On one side, it's tragic. A man dies, and you can't get justice for this guy. On another side is, do you know who you were fucking with?
On another side, how many people do you think this country has killed that we don't know about?
Oh my goodness! What? Because they showed you David Beckham last night?
Bruh, you seen what they did to Edward Snowden. They ain't even killed him yet, but they're definitely not giving him any freedoms or anything like that. Dude had to hide under diplomatic immunity and whatnot.
Yeah.
Really and truly, it's not like there's a good guy and there's a bad guy.
Who was talking shit about Russia, and they killed him by putting poison into his car by a person just bumping with an umbrella.
This is it.
Remember that Russian spy that was in the hospital?
Yeah.
They got to that nigga in the hospital.
Bruh. They didn't even stop at that little M&S they done put in the on your way in.
I heard as the killer was leaving, he did a little.
Man had to sanitize his hands afterwards.
Man did the hand sanitizer as he was done. Fuck is you talking about? This is power here, man. Don't play games, man.
Yeah, bro.
Sentiment into power plays. It's never gonna work. These men move different. What you gonna do? Arrest him? Remember that scene in Training Day? But you go, what you wanna do? Run up him with a BRB? You're under arrest. That's a high roller, dog. That's a high roller, dog.
That's a high roller, dog.
That's a high roller. You know what a high roller is, bro? You don't just arrest. When they know where the cocaine is, but they didn't just walk up to Pablo Escobar's house. You're under arrest, sir. We think you've been smuggling cocaine. Come on, man. I'm the big fish. You gotta arrest the small guys first.
Nah, they had to catch that dude slipping, and not only that, They pretty much had to kill him right there on the spot.
Well, that was the game. He had to die. But
He had to die.
the thing that I felt was really, really cold was if you see the last picture of him, he was.
But they held him up by his head like this.
No, it was not even the head. It was laying on the floor. His stomach was out because his shirt was up, and the nigga had no shoes on. I said, "Nah, you got to put some trainers on this."
Put some craps on my guy. Put some Air Pablos on him, man.
You can't show the kids of today, hey, Pabloska was a bad man. They see a picture, but this nigga here.
I think that's the best thing for them to see. Because whenever you go out, it's not this blaze of glory that you see in the end of Scarface and whatnot. Sometimes it just looks ugly. Like, look at this. Look after all of that.
But that's the funny thing about the fall. It's like sometimes the fall is like so bad. It's like he was such a powerful person, and then you go out with no shoes. I bet you when he thought of his death, he thought closed casket, met people crying at the funeral. This nigga was on the floor with no shoes, and they were posing over the body.
They were posing. They hunted him, bro.
Yeah.
Because what happened when they try and put him in jail? When they try to put him in jail, man just built his own jail.
They didn't try and
girls coming back and forth.
They didn't try. And this is my point, Allah. You're saying, look what Escobar did with drug money. This nigga built his own jail. What do you think the Saudi prince with 320 billion is gonna do? Oh, you want to arrest me? I'm gonna build my own country.
I say, my Dubai is my prison. I'll just stay in Dubai for the next year.
When you have money and power, you can. I remember when the iPads first launched, and people were queuing up for them like it was crack. I said, I bet Steve Jobs is somewhere just pissing on the hooker's face. Just there you go.
Golly, how did we get there?
Listen to me. It's like, because have you seen my iPad selling? I'm about to be rich. The guy who did the and remember McAfee antivirus?
Oh yeah. McAfee.
He was a madman. He used to like women to shit in his mouth and stuff like that. He was crazy dude. Did a madness, ended up killing someone. The guy fled the country.
After he'd get them to poop in his mouth?
Yeah.
And then what, use antivirus afterwards?
That was his shit.
Bruh. We both went for a punchline. To be fair, they're both alright. They're not great. I said, what, he's going to take the antivirus afterwards? But you said that's his shit. Yeah, McAfee made antivirus software. He's putting shit in his mouth. He's going to take...
I didn't pick up. My bad. I was a little off on that one. I didn't see that. McAfee antivirus. So yeah, I wonder what his vaccine would be. His vaccine would be the shit. No, I'm joking. That'd be the campaign. My vaccine is the shit. He did a madness and fled the country. And I'm not saying that to justify the takeover or Saudi Arabia's civil rights movement. You know, people talking about, their treatment of women. I was like, yeah.
I need to relax.
I was like, yeah, their treatment of women. Women in this country are saying they're mistreated every 5 minutes. What the fuck is you talking about?
To be fair, though, one thing that's consistent around the world is that whether you have the most freedoms, the least freedoms, the most wealth, the least wealth, I don't know a single place on earth that, you know, in fact, I'd probably find the women complaining less where they supposedly have it worse. Maybe because they're not allowed to speak up. But either way, I don't know anywhere where like women are treated well.
In Nigeria, the women are treated like women, in it, like second-class citizens, and no opinions are really valid. So they're not trained to understand, well, majority of them anyway, that they have the right to say, you know, whatever they want to say or be who they want to be. But when I say that, you know, their treatment of women, it's like every society, it's rich of us to talk about people's treatment. But the truth is this, that's their problem. You still have issues of how you treat women in your own house. You know what I'm saying? Just because you say, I want to get to drive cars and stuff like that, but women still don't feel safe in the streets. Women still don't feel that they're getting the right benefits in terms of their treatments and stuff like that. So...
Yeah, but that's the point I'm making. That like I don't know a single place on earth that the women say, you know, this country gets it right.
Right, you're right, and I don't know any place on earth where anybody says this country gets it right. Everybody wants something more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with the takeover, you know, it just really made me everybody. Now all of a sudden, it's like the fans need to, you know, take their time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's like no one said it's going to happen overnight, but everybody's just talking about it. It was just a weird few days for me, man. Being a Newcastle fan now, who's now in a position where I can actually talk to some of the people. My friends who support Liverpool, they don't talk to me about football.
Wow.
They just think it's disrespectful.
Who's your number one pick? Let's say open checkbook now. Who's your number one pick for Newcastle?
I mean, to be honest with you, Ola, yeah, like for me, it's just building small. We need a new striker. We need a couple midfielders and a couple defenders. And so I want to get a defender, and I don't want money grabbers. I want football players. And so, yeah, whoever they sign, I'll be happy with. But I'm not anticipating the names that everybody thinks.
Yeah, but it's just a fun fantasy football pick. Who would you spend the money on?
What do you mean, like one player or?
Yeah, who'd be the first if you were, who's your manager at the moment?
Steve Bruce.
If you're Steve Bruce and them Qatari men bring you in for a quick tea and a beheading, and then they say, all right, cool. Now, whoever you want to... I don't know why I'm buying into that into that ignorance, but yo, it was funny. If they say now, you buy anybody, who's your first purchase?
I don't even know. It's hard to say. I guess I would want a Erling Haaland.
Okay.
Plays for Borussia Dortmund. He's the best young striker on the planet right now. Freaking machine. I'll take him quickly.
Exciting. Nice. Interesting. Very, very interesting, man.
Now my team's going to compete. I'm not going to be embarrassed no more. I even bought a jersey. That's how gassed I am.
Wow.
People are going to come up to me like, oh, you're that Newcastle. You're a new Newcastle fan. Oh, no, baby. I've been there since a minute.
Yeah, man. It's your time, baby.
I remember when...
You need to do testimony at church, bro.
What the Lord has done for me. I used to hate those people that start their testimony with a song. It's like, my nigga, get to the testimony. When we start with the song, the testimony's going to be one long ass testimony.
Bro, and you don't have testimonies that don't even go anywhere. You don't even jump.
Oh my God.
Just like, God has been good. When I tell you that God has been good, I mean God has been good. I'm like, yo, tell me something. There was one time a man came on, it was New Year's service. Bro, that New Year's service, I don't know what was happening. People were trying to outdo each other with the testimonies or something. One guy came with one Nollywood story, bruv, about how armed robbers stopped him in the car, but then he slipped out the back on the side. Then he had to hide underneath the car. Then he rolled out into a gutter, ran down the gutter, got away from them. They licked off a couple shots, but he ducked away. The way he told the story, I was like, ah! Everyone was sitting there like, yo, okay. After a while, it's not even really about testimony no more. Now it's just we just want to hear a good story, man.
Sometimes the testimony is just like, you just want it to be heard today, didn't you? I hate kids to come and do testimony because they passed their exam. Like, get your fucking kid off the pulpit, man. Don't know what they had. Oh, this one is a child of God. Like, no, he's not. He's been forced. You can say he doesn't remember the words. Keeps looking at his mum in the front. His mum's egging him on.
Bruh, I remember when the one that I always ask about this as well. There's one woman who came on and said basically that she had a court case and she bust case. And everybody was like, thank God. And I was like, wait, are we going to find out what she did first? What was she accused of? Like, I don't even think every time someone busts case, we should be giving that as a testimony. Some of you need to.
What if you were wrongly accused of?
Yeah, if we could. But I want to verify that before I thank God.
If you bust case, then it's verified.
Nah, you can bust case on the fact that because it was like they declared a mistrial or whatever it is, and just
when you bust case, that means you're coming back.
Nah, if they declared it,
I'm saying if I was charged with murder and I bust case and I gave testimony, you're like, whoa, let me make sure he didn't commit the murder first.
Pretty much, I'm not thanking God.
I've been acquitted.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not good enough.
If I'm gonna thank God for something, I want to be sure you're not the killer. If I know you're not the killer, but
so if you had a friend, for instance, at work or whatever, and you got to know each other, and after maybe 5 years of knowing each other, he just said, "Listen, I was charged with murder, but I was found guilty." Would that make I was acquitted of the murder? Would that change your relationship?
But if he was acquitted, then I think in that situation, I'd probably want to just find out more. But it doesn't really have to.
You're gonna find out more.
Yeah, I want to find out more about the details of the case and
Why,
whatnot.
why am I gonna find out more?
Partly because I want to do a little detective work myself, see if it makes sense. But also, I'm interested in this
People
stuff.
ain't shit. People ain't shit. A quid is not enough, is it? Now you're gonna need more than that, player.
No, of course, it's not enough, bro. Come on,
You're
man.
gonna need more than that, player.
Bro, if OJ walked into your church and said, "Yo, I
OJ,
want to do testimony, I bust case,"
OJ did it.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
he got acquitted.
yeah, but we know, but yeah, he didn't get acquitted for not killing his wife. He got acquitted he got acquitted because they were racist.
Okay, but that's my point, though. I didn't know the details
Him.
because you know the
They didn't
details of
try
the
him.
case now.
They didn't try him for killing his wife. They tried. Is the police department racist? Yes, that's why he got off.
Okay, but my point is that's because you.
He killed his wife.
Okay, but wait, you know the details of the case.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why you're making this judgment.
Yes.
I'm saying that in this case with the woman, I didn't know the details of the case. If she was OJ, she just came to me and said, "I was charged with murder and I was acquitted. I want to thank God." And I'm like, "Yo, before I thank God with you, I want to know, did you have a glove that you pretended you couldn't fit on your hand, and that's how the reason why you got off? Did your lawyer do some fantastic rhyming and
Until proven guilty, should be thrown out the window.
innocent until proven guilty should be thrown out the window?
It should never be used again, ever. Because you're guilty until I feel you are even when you're acquitted, you are guilty until I know what happened.
I think in the eyes of the law, innocent until proven guilty. In my eyes, everybody guilty.
Like that, and he was like, I was acquitted from murder, but he said, I need to do some more research. You go to the police office station. Says, I need the case files on murder 1 versus 2. You're up all night just going through the facts.
You know the ones where you roll up the sleeve, you got the suspenders, you sipping the coffee.
You got the coffee, just going through the crime scene.
I want to go to the board with the red string, connecting the different people's pictures.
Yeah. You phone him the next day. Yo, you see your alibi, yeah? You see? Okay, all right. I'll call you back. I need the phone records. Listen, Judge, I need some phone records on my boy.
Can I subpoena his?
I'm trying to make this friendship work.
I want to subpoena his Oyster card. I want to check his location around the time of the murder.
That's another thing that will actually come into detective work sooner or later, because your Oyster card tells you where you've been.
That's already been done.
I've never seen that in a crime channel.
Not on the crime channel, do you say?
Yeah, I've not seen that.
Oh, it's not on the crime channel, but there are cases in which they've convicted people based on their Oyster card and also acquitted people based on their Oyster card.
Nice.
Yes, track journeys, man. Your journeys are tracked. And I was even just watching that show I like to watch, Castle. And yeah, the victim had a Metro card on her, so they just asked the MTA to run it, and they were able to trace her last steps before she was killed. Like all those tracked journeys and so on, man. The police are using that, man.
Have you seen Squid Game yet?
Yeah, man.
You finished it?
Yeah. Because there's so much hype. One of those ones where if everyone's dropping memes and they're talking too much about it, you kind of need to watch it now, or else it's just gonna pass you by and it's gonna be ruined for you. Pardon?
You won't die though.
You won't. Are you sure?
You won't lose a lung or nothing like that.
I know. But it's like if there's so many memes about it, it can ruin it sometimes.
To be fair, I'm not on social media like that, so I don't see the memes. But okay. I did see my sister was posting a lot, and then she told me to go and watch it. And then my brother said, "You need to watch Squid Game." My brother's really funny. He told me to watch it, but he'll watch it to like episode 5 and then not watch it again.
Oh, wow. I don't know how you do that.
And by the way, he'll tell you I loved it, but I watched it in a day because
you had nothing to do.
Not even that. It's just I get addicted like that. But
okay,
I wanted to see if the soundtrack is available soon, because that first Red Light Green Light song, that's a tune, bro.
Original motion picture soundtrack.
Any kind of song you want to play whilst you're playing Red Light Green Light, where they're shooting everybody, that's the kind of song you want, man. Because it was creepy and airy as hell.
Yeah, bro. In fact, I saw there's a video I posted.
And you haven't watched Squid Game, we're going to do mad spoiler alerts right now.
Mad spoilers, mad spoilers.
Um,
But yeah, I posted this video, and basically like this, the guy who does the Dissect podcast that I told you to check out. He did a breakdown of like the eerie song from Squid Game and how basically it references like this old Catholic song that's used for funerals. And then when you know the first four notes in it, you can hear it in like all kinds of scenes like Lion King and other movies where like somebody's about to die, they play these same four notes. So it's actually quite interesting that the music clearly got to you because it's something that it's kind of been used across the board.
made it to the red tape.
Was that sorry?
If you'd have made it to the red tape.
What in terms of the first game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could do red light, green light. It's the later games where it would have been a
I
manual.
wouldn't have played none of those games. I wouldn't have come back.
Yeah, exactly. Why the heck would you go back?
I wouldn't have come back.
At least at the beginning when you thought like, oh, these are low stakes.
But it's like saying, why would an alcoholic go back to drinking,
Yeah, and obviously the whole thing is that they target all these down and outs and
they target people who are desperate.
Yeah.
Look at the guy who went to school with the best school in the city. And this nigga was psycho killing.
Yeah, bro. How did you feel about him? Because I heard basically I saw a debate online and it was like, it wasn't really a debate, but it was just a Nigerian. Somebody came out and said, you know what? Actually, I don't think he was a bad guy. I actually liked him. He was the most logical and reasonable person about why he was there and what needed to be done. In fact, he's actually the best person.
He wasn't a bad. I mean, whether he's the best person is up to you. If you look at characters, great characters, it's all about change. You start off one way, and by the end, you're a completely different person. And the same thing was with Sam Woon. By the time he left that place, he wasn't the same lovely person he was in the beginning. Even with the red hair, he wasn't the different person. That thing had changed him. That experience changed him.
Yeah.
And thingy, like I say, when you're creating when you're reading about characters, one thing that popped out to me was this line that said, in true adversity, character is shown.
Yeah.
Saying, and so when you're in those positions, your true nature comes out. Some people will bitch up, some people will embrace the dark side like no other.
Yeah.
And that was that guy. He had been through all. He was embezzling money, so killing people, knowing that he needs that money, he was gonna do everything he can to get the money. And what was the aim of the game? To get the money.
Yeah.
So he's not a bad guy. He is just. We give all these people props. The Steve Jobs, the Bezos, the Amazon guy. You don't think they've stepped on people to get that far?
Of course.
They've torn some
We
things.
talk about it all the time.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. I don't know if they would have had people killed like that, but
no, but we're not talking that. But even making when a company, for instance, lays people off, or a payout because there was a gas leak and your son died, so just drop you 10 grand and say don't bother us again. There's things like that every single day. So no, you shouldn't look at him as a bad guy. Yes, he was a. And another thing is, if you're watching a show, when a show like that, you needed someone like him.
Yeah.
You needed him to be as ruthless as he can, just to show you how human nature can be.
Yeah. And a lot of people benefited from his ruthlessness.
Of course. Even the glass thing where everybody he said, why did you push him? Because I was going to die next.
Yeah.
The time was running out and you're stalling. We ain't got time for this.
Yeah. That was wild, man.
And he killed the girl because he knew he would change. He would say, I don't want to play no more. Because his true nature is, he didn't care about the money. I did. You see what I'm saying? It's amazingly written. And I remember one of the parts that bothered me was like, how could people watch this? Those, the VIPs. And then my sister told me that my cousin was like to her, we watch people suffer every day.
Yeah. Because they present it in this way of like, these guys have these weird, crazy lusts that they're these weird VIP guys who put on masks and pay money to suffer. But that's just dressing up. At the root of it, they're doing exactly what we do when we go on social media and see all kinds of. Do you remember when people were doing bum fights? They get like homeless people to fight.
Oh my God. But bum fights. What's Jerry Springer?
Jeremy Kyle, all of these shows, man.
Like we come out to watch the vile of society and mock them. What's Love Island?
Bruh.
What's Big Brother?
Yeah, man. To be honest, it's all dressing up, but it's the same. You're right. You're right. It definitely exposes something about us as well. There's a mirror in that show. I have a couple. I have a couple. Well, I have one gr- annoyance with it and one hole that I'm not sure about.
I have an annoyance with it. What's your annoyance?
My annoyance is the ending.
Oh my goodness! Please give me a hug. The fuck is that about? The old man is the dude. I thought I'm not. That's not a big enough payoff for me.
Not even just that. I'm just talking about when my man comes back from about to get in the airplane. I'm like, get on the airplane, go see your daughter, man. What are you doing? What are you going back for?
But because there's gonna be a season 2.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. Like, the main shock of that show is the fact that, like, yo, they put these people in these games and, like, they thought it was just a game, but then, like, people are dying. How are they going to make it through? What are they going to do? It gets tense, blah, blah, blah. Now,
I was a bit mad the Grandmaster and the brother story. I thought that ended too quick.
the Grandmaster.
The grand, they had the housemaster, and his brother was the cop.
Oh, the front man.
The front man, that's it.
Yeah, the front man. Yeah, that one ended so. What was that?
Yeah, that was a bit.
My man was doing all of this work. He man infiltrated the whole thing.
Man infiltrated the whole non-speaking camp just to die off the cliff and find his brother. And we didn't even really get to know why. I mean, we know he won it, but we didn't get to know why.
He's coming back.
Huh?
The brother's coming back. The cop.
The nigga died you saw him get shot, but we didn't see his body though. And my rule in everything is if you don't see the body, he didn't die.
Yeah. He fell into the water like Black Panther. He's gonna come back.
I wanted to ask, do you think that experience would change you in the sense of would you kill during that night?
The night where it was a madness.
Yeah, or would you pray?
What
gives you the strength to kill?
I would just work on defending myself. I don't think I'd go on the attack.
Okay.
I'd kill anybody who came to try and attack me, but I wouldn't like go out to like say I'm gonna go kill that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That night was a bit mad, and I think that was the most psychologically damaging night. As in, you'd actually pick people out that I want this guy.
I wouldn't kill, but I'd be ready.
Okay. Yes. Exactly.
I'm saying if you move to me, then one of us is dying. That's for sure.
Yeah. Exactly that.
Which is probably his point of view as well. To be fair, he ain't coming in there thinking that we're gonna be friends after this, right?
Nah, for real, man. The maddest one was that married couple, bro. Right. That married couple was a bit of a mazza.
He said the thing is this: when they said every single game, you should know by now. The most intense game for me was the tug of war. That was beautiful.
Oh, because the way they shot it.
It was crazy.
You know how they ended the episode right as they did the steps forward.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, you mother.
The strategy was mad and it worked to a T. And they held out. And then the other guys go strong again. I said, oh shit.
But you know what's mad about that? There's a couple of things that's mad about that. And this leads me to one of my hosts. The fact that the old guy is the one like running everything. He's the host. Mm-hmm. Why would you put yourself in the team like on the tug of war thing if these guys messed up? You could have died as well.
Because he knew they wouldn't. You have to have faith in the team, innit? And he gave them the strategy. True.
Second of all, they go to he wasn't able to meet the rest of the VIPs.
Yeah.
Because he said it would be more fun for me to play than to watch. Mm-hmm. The VIPs only showed up in time for like.
Yes, I had that gripe too, but my sister said it was an old flashback. So he wasn't. All he said was the only thing is they made it on the same day as the VIPs arrived, so it looked like it was that same day. But
yeah.
He said to him before, as soon as the game started, because remember the games don't start with that one; they started a while ago. So you the VIPs for me.
Okay.
It was an extended flashback, but you're right; they didn't shoot that well because it made it look as if it was the last game.
Yeah, they made it look like
he
didn't meet the VIPs because he was playing, but he was already
in the game. But he was already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
2 girls in the marble story was sad, man.
The what? Sorry.
2 girls in the marble story.
2 girls on the marble.
You know the marbles with the 2 girls.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
But remember, good writing. We had to have a reason for why she would sacrifice herself. And I had a good backstory of her, just coming out of prison after seeing her dad kill her mother and she killed her father. She didn't
Yeah.
get anything to go out into the world to. Me, not that kind of person. Somebody gonna die. I'm throwing
Bruh.
that marble so close. But even the girl, it was sad, man. It was sad. But you notice he made all that money and didn't want to spend a penny because what he went through to get it was too much.
I couldn't relate, bro. I'm at least get myself a cheeseburger or something, man. How am I good? What?
That's why I know you'd be that billionaire guy, the other character. You said you couldn't relate.
Nah, nah.
Relate to that.
No, I have strong moral reflexes in certain moments, right? But if I've already done it and the money's there, and that's when I now want to start talking. After I've done everything I've already done, everybody's already killed. I've already killed mad people. Now I don't want to spend the money. What's a weird time? Why didn't you just not go in?
Did you see the Pakistani dude? Was an Indian dude? From Pakistan, right?
Yes, he was from Pakistan.
And his story was wild because I was like, why would you even get sold out like that? And my brother-in-law was like, he's an immigrant. He just trusting the system. He thought this man was a genuine guy. The same way when Nigerians come over here, anything white people says, we take it as gospel because they won't do us wrong.
But that guy did help him before.
So
he thought so it wasn't just the system, it was just the fact this guy,
I guarantee you, no matter how many times a black person helped him, if that was a black, at that moment, like this nigga, please. Don't take that at face value from a black person.
The way he snaked him, though.
Or anybody who wasn't a Korean in that moment. He wouldn't take it from face value from anyone who wasn't Korean. If it was one of his people, he would say he's trying to swindle me. Because we always see the people, the country we flee to, as the good do-gooders. There's not a Nigerian in the world that someone would have sat down and said, and I'll give you the I'll say could he definitely like, yeah, you want to you think I'm stupid, Abby? Who would have done this? Okay, all right. The moment he would have gone there, they'll check them up as he would have switched his own stones.
Bruh.
So I believe it was just a nice little hint, a nice little thing there, because why would you even believe that?
Yeah, it was to be fair, he thought he had the stones with him.
He said once he said, "Give me your stones, I'll make sure you look after them." I'll be like, nah.
Exactly. You probably just wouldn't have thought that the guy was gonna do the old switcheroo on the
Right.
stones. But when he put it around his neck, he thought like, oh no, this guy's actually being genuine. He's letting me hold on to it.
And that's how the system fucks you all the time. They seem to be genuine. Welfare.
Mad, bro. Bro, there's so much human behavior to draw from that show, man. It's nuts.
The funny thing is, he wrote it 10 years ago, and everyone said no.
Yeah, bro. I mean, bro, but we love those stories, man.
How much of those stories are true, though? Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we love them stories.
He wrote it 15 years ago in the cave. He had to spend his last $12 on pizza. Can we verify that? I need to verify these stories now.
You remember they dropped something similar about the chess? There was a chess show on Netflix that was doing really well, and it was like, oh, the writer went through all of this. Yeah, Queen's Gambit.
It's always the same. You know what it is? He probably had the idea 10 years ago. Took him a couple years to finally get it done. The first one was like, you need some rewrites. Then another one was like, you need to do that. And then eventually it got made. I wrote it 10 years ago. I had to spend my last $12. Nigga, please.
Bruh, to be honest, yeah, those stories, they do make it a little sweeter, because then you're like, you take it for yourself, like, yeah, that script I'm writing in 10 years time, I'm gonna be big on Netflix. Nah, nigga.
He says, if you interview Diddy, you just gotta, don't give up on your dreams, man. You just gotta go for it. It's like, really, how's Mace Dreams doing?
You're right, man. You're right.
Rob's Dreams doing, huh?
No, but to be
how's
fair,
G-Def's Dreams doing?
To be fair, Mace has had a decent run.
Mace had a decent
run.
That wasn't Diddy's fault either, to be fair.
Yeah. So, with Mace, I think that was like, but for the rest of them bad boy guys, man, yo.
Bad boy. I'm just throwing shade in it. But what I'm saying is, yeah, they don't tell you about the pitfalls of the industry. They don't.
Of course not.
They don't say, make sure you dream big. But by the way, it's a dirty game. You
people are trying to warn us, man.
You can't sell tracks. The industry, the labels will tell you what they want to hear, how they should market you. They don't tell you none of that stuff. They don't tell
Yeah.
you that, you know. By the way, your album.
That's why Tupac was trying to warn us, man. Tupac was trying to let us know that, like, some people gonna act like your friends, really they're your enemies. Some people gonna act like your
They
enemies,
don't
but
tell
really
you
they
that
want your
this
money.
album sells 5 million copies. You're thinking 5 million copies? That album costs what? £10? £10? That's what? 500 million? They don't tell you you're only getting 12p. No, 6p per album. 6p.
Mad.
Who else is getting the rest of the money? They tell you the whole label's names. Who are them niggas? They weren't in the studio.
They ain't lay a vocal or nothing. They ain't even drop an ad lib in there, nothing.
They didn't even come in the and just leave.
They didn't show up for the video shoot.
Whole album. But what you don't realize is, yeah, you think it's your album. Yeah, your face is on the album. But who took the pictures? Huh? Who bought the wardrobe that made you look cute? Who did the AIN? Who did the artwork for the album? Who wrote the credits for the album? Who funded the recording of the album? Who flew in Quincy Jones, Diddy, and Dr. Dre to make a #1 single? Who did that? The label did. And we gonna eat, baby.
Yeah, they got to eat, man.
For your album to sell 5 million copies, what's the one thing you need the most, Ola? Advertising.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you think costs the most, Ola?
Advertising and distribution.
And distribution.
Because the way that they run those radio stations in America, man.
What?
Oh,
So if you have Warner Brothers distributing your music, they have the people that go there and tell the DJ, hey, the whole week I want to hear Funmbi featuring Ola, boom boom shaka shaka. That's all I want to hear.
Our track would have been called Boom Boom Shaka Shaka.
When Michael Jackson puts an album out, he's not worried about radio play. Okay. Also, what if you're an artist who puts his album out and then this bitch ass nigga Michael Jackson decides to put his album out the week after? Now you're not getting any play. Forget radio play. They're not even playing.
All your fans are tweeting, listen to it next week, you know.
Next week. You ain't getting nothing. All your radio interviews cancelled. All the TV shows you have. You know when you're booked on Ellen, then they move you to that cooking show in Utah on Channel 4 that no one watches. Yeah. Fucking mad singing on cooking shows, just trying to plug you. Yeah. They don't tell you none of that.
For real, man.
None of that. So it's beautiful when you see it as it's packaged, when it's, winning an Oscar or winning an award. But the other side of it, the reality is so far from it. It's so much luck and so much to go into it. So those stories, as great as they sound, he wrote it, don't give up on your stuff. There's many a man who, just 10 years? Shit, man, I wrote mine in the 3rd grade. There's like just 10 years. Shit.
Bro. But can you imagine, like,
only 10 years.
I wonder what that first draft looked like for real, but
right.
Like,
if he said he made it 10 years ago, that first track couldn't have banged. You had to write at least look how long the show is. You the first, right?
But the way they brought it to life as well, like, that's the maddest part for me. For me, it's the
budget was crazy.
The set design,
the budget was crazy.
All of that, man.
The budget was crazy. I wonder where they filmed it.
Bro, it must be a movie studio in Korea.
I mean, the actual games. Oh, you think
that's what I'm saying, in a movie studio, yeah, because they would have had to construct and then
and break it as well.
Yeah.
Some of it's easy, like the place where they slept could have been just like the actual studio, because it looked
yeah.
When they kicked the the Korean singing girl, that was a bit of a big prop.
Yeah, that was a huge prop. I mean, to be honest, like that's probably not even the craziest one. For me, it's like how they shoot like the maze of doors and that pink series of doors and stairs that they go through.
Oh yeah.
To confuse them.
One place though, if you think about it, just shot in so many different angles. So you just have 20 places. It's probably just one place.
Whichever way they did it, it looked amazing, man.
Even
I,
when
I
plots,
really got the sense of like this place is creepy,
yeah,
and I feel the anxiety of being in this place.
yeah. Even the square and the circle.
Yeah, bro.
That square meant you're a leader.
Yeah. Whoever, do you know what? Yeah. Who? Obviously, the writer. All credits to the writer, but
Yeah, and I know you didn't get that in one day, bro. That took you 20 years to make.
but I just want to. I want to pick up like all the other people that never get their credit, like the set designer, the costume designer, all these people.
Fuck them.
Everybody came together, man. Everybody came. Man said, "After what? What did they do to you?"
I'm joking, man.
Nah, man. All of them. Everyone came correct on that. I mean, I was thinking they kind of reused some of the same props from Money Heist. They got the red jumpsuit suits. They said just change the mask for them.
I think we used the props.
I
It was better than Money Heist. Nope. No,
pardon.
sorry. People were saying it was better than Money House. Nope. No, sorry.
Yeah, I think I still prefer Money Heist, but I
Are
just
you,
mean in terms of the fact that their costume was the red jumpsuit with a mask.
are you up to date with Money Heist?
No, I haven't watched the latest one.
Okay, because I was about to ruin everything.
No, I don't ruin that one yet for me, man. I
Hey,
just
when
need,
Nairobi died, I thought it was a joke.
bro. I couldn't understand.
You know, you pause. Okay, she's gonna get up though, right? Hey, that guy though. Can you imagine if like they said there was gonna be a security guard at the bank? I mean, you think, alright, little toy cop. You wouldn't think this motherfucker.
Bruh. Flipping Jason Bourne, the security guard, bro.
And he liked his job, bro. They must have been paying him well. I've never seen anybody write so. When he started doing his madness, I was like, this. Who is this guy?
Yo, that show is dope, man.
That show is crazy, bro. That show is crazy.
That show is
Do you
dope.
watch it in Spanish or do you put the dub English voice on?
I think I put the dub on.
Terrible. You do same thing for Squid Game.
Yeah, because a lot of the time when I'm watching stuff, like I might not keep my eyes on a screen. I might be typing or doing something else, like cooking. So I need to hear it. Like I rarely get to sit down and just keep my eyes on a screen,
Interesting. I can't watch it in the dub thing. I need to hear that. I watch Money Heist so much. I started learning Spanish.
bro. To be honest, yeah,
Oh,
that's how Wyclef learned English, bro.
seriously.
Yeah, supposedly when he landed in America, he couldn't speak English, but
Not one of them stories, huh?
yeah, bro. He said he used to go to the local library and listen
At the
to.
peep game, I was like, you know what? All these motherfuckers have one crazy ass inspirational story.
Hey, bro, what's your story, man? Tell them your story. Like you bust today. What's your story?
Well, if I had a story that of that level,
Yeah, like what's the inspiration that people are gonna get from like you have to tell like one part of your life that was actually like an absolute madness,
well,
and
I
then
got
just
dropped by my
skip.
agent.
You got dropped by your agent. Okay.
And by the following year, I was doing a TV show for my agent, for the agent that dropped me. Remember, I did a John Bishop show. The
Nice,
producer.
nice. For me, bro, bro, there was times where niggas is eating corned beef every day, just sleeping. I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor.
Where?
Pardon?
Where?
In the UK,
Why
in the
though?
UK, in an apartment. Pardon?
Why you went to LSC?
Yeah, because I was trying to make my comedy dream happen. Actually, the best one is actually the fact that right after I graduated, I went to New York for 4 weeks, and I ran out of money by the middle of week 2. So every night for the rest of that, and if I wanted to eat, I had to come into Times Square, which is like a 2-hour train ride from where I was in Brooklyn, and do a set and try and sell as many DVDs as possible for whatever people will pay. So they'll give me a dollar, $2, $5, $10, whatever it is. That'll be my food money for the next day or next 2 days. So I that would definitely taught me hustle. Like, yeah, I can sit at home and say I want to watch TV, but if you really want to eat tomorrow, then get out there. And that's the money I was using to buy my little McDonald's, my little dollar slices of pizza.
You should have joined the gang, man.
Bro, come on, man. I was only there for a few weeks, man. I ain't even got time to pledge, kill nobody.
Gangs do part time.
Pardon?
Gangs don't do part time.
Bro, they should have brought me in as a maternity cover.
Yeah, just come on.
Yeah, you know, one of our gang leaders, she's actually out on
The
maternity.
hospital from a drive-by. We need someone to cover.
I almost did get a job out in New York actually, selling tickets to the comedy club out in Times Square.
You used to be that guy for 99.
I was about to be, yeah.
Wow.
That hustle was, yeah. I went for the training day and everything, and I was like, yeah, nah, this
Where's the
ain't.
inspiration though?
Pardon?
Where's the inspiration part?
But
That's the struggle.
yeah, I'm saying that I was just saying that like if I bust today, that's the story that I would tell to make it sound like if I blew up today, that's the story that I would tell to be like, yeah, this is where I was when I started my career, and now I'm here. But I just
No,
need the
no,
now
no,
I'm
no,
here
no.
part.
Sorry, I will tell this. Give up, everybody, because this is bullshit.
Bro, that's what I say on stage now. Bro, it's one of my best lines in my set right now. I tell
So
everybody who's chasing their dreams, man, just give up, man. Just
I'm
give
doing a
up.
prison joke now, man. That's working.
A prison joke.
Yeah.
I
You know what I mean?
don't say too much now. Let me hear it off camera, man, because you might still wanna.
Oh, it's fine. No one listens to us. It's an old joke, but it's a routine that I never had the confidence of doing. But now I'm at the phase where I'm like a sensei.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to, push more in terms of,
Maybe one of these episodes we really should workshop some jokes that we know has some potential but doesn't
really
have any
implement them
flesh.
out. This one was like, funny enough, I was at the store last night doing new material. I was telling you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I called you afterwards, but you're a bitch ass nigga now, so
As in,
it was
translate that as married
no,
and needing to
bedtime. So
spend
like,
time
I
with my
had to go
wife.
because it's bedtime. But anyway, Sean Walsh was there and a couple other comics and stuff like that. It was funny to see everybody panicking because it was new material. So everybody wanted to But you know what it was? It was the comedy store. Guess how many tickets? 200 people.
Yeah, that's not really how
Well,
you.
it's like a gig.
Yeah, it's
We
tough.
played this story enough. The moment I walked out, I was like, "It's Saturday."
It's tough, man.
But the joke I did yesterday was, I said R. Kelly's going to jail, and I said he's facing life. I said, which is ironic because he wrote the song called Life for Casey and Jojo. I think if he gets life, he should come and sing the verdict. But they didn't laugh because they were all white. And they probably didn't know who Casey and Jojo are.
Yeah.
So I said that joke would have been funny if you guys knew who Casey and Jojo were. And then they laughed. I said I probably should have written a joke of an Elton John reference in it. But that was just like, the little layups.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I realized when you commit a crime against kids, or if you're a rapist or a pedophile or something like that, and you get convicted, you are free game. And I was like, because the memes are all suggesting R. Kelly's about to get raped in jail, and everyone's like, yeah, rape him in jail. Cool with it. Like,
The way you said that.
10,000 likes.
The way you said that was mad. But yeah, you're right. And to be honest, it's kind of led me to another one of my thoughts. That in today's world, like people are nothing in itself is actually right or wrong. It just depends on who it's happening to.
Right.
So even the people that are like campaigning against rape, I'm not sure they all believe that rape is wrong. They just believe that as long as it happens to R. Kelly in prison, then it's okay. But it just shouldn't happen.
Rape is wrong. I think the thing for me is the celebratory aspect.
No, but I mean, if rape
Going down.
you wouldn't, if rape is wrong, you wouldn't want a rapist to be raped. If rape is wrong,
That's why I was going to take the joke, because I was like, I think people have a misconception about prison. It's not like you just, as soon as you get convicted, you're going to get raped in jail. I'm sure the inmates are like, yo, we're not like that. we ain't rapists out here. You know what I mean? People just say stuff like, don't drop the soap, as if holding on to a bar of soap is going to prevent you from getting gang raped in the shower. I said, you're in the shower with grown-ass men, convicts. The water's coming down your skin, you're foaming up the body, nothing. Motherfuckers is just waiting in anticipation, like, oh, shit. Any minute now. You can't hold the soap for that long, baby.
And who's still using these bars of soap that they're rubbing up on their body?
And it's like this, Allah. I know it's slippery. I know it's slippery. How's that grip? And then the soap drops out your hand and all hell breaks loose. You know?
Look here, the moment the soap drops out my hand is the moment I finish showering, bro.
Right. So wait. Do you hold the soap the entire shower? Even when you're walking back to the cell, hey, I still got the soap in my hand, dog.
You know the rules.
Oh, you know the rules? Niggas walking up to you. What? Oh, I was about to rape you there, dog. You got soap in your hand. Wait, let me see the soap. Oh, okay.
Niggas sleeping holding the soap. Like, yo, you know, I'm still sleeping. You know,
I might play the joke where it's like, you know, I heard that, you know, they treat rapists really bad in jail, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we don't like rapists in here. So what you guys gonna do about it? We're gonna rape him. It's like, oh, it's kind of contradicts the issue.
Yeah.
You know?
To be honest, bro, I know I said it in terms of rape, but I think in terms of like most things, I don't think anybody really believes anything is wrong. They just don't believe it should happen to some people. And I think it's shown by the fact that like people who shout, "Oh, be kind" or show empathy, as soon as like somebody's getting dragged, there's no kindness, no empathy.
Goes out the window. Imagine Ellen DeGeneres had a show, Be Kind, and she was the meanest person on set. You can't write that. But here's the thing: anybody who sells that much kindness is a mean motherfucker.
Of course, bro. Of course.
You know.
You got to let that out somewhere, man.
You got to let that people out somewhere.
You just can't be dancing with kids all day like that.
I was watching that show, like she must have a bunch of slaves in the basement or something. Do you know what I mean? Just to find balance in her life. Balance is key,
you know. I think she's probably at home watching them bum fights.
She's probably at home watching Roots. Just the part where the niggas is getting whipped. Yes, finally, some reality, some normality in my life. You're right. Balance is key, you know. And I just feel like it was so funny because they went with it because it was R. Kelly and it gives it license, you know. I tried the joke of again, Ola, you know, it's so funny because people only hear words that trigger them. So I tried the joke of, you know, people were saying Joe. I mean, I did it in front of a white audience, so it didn't really work because they don't really know the relation, how Joe and R. Kelly were similar artists of the time.
Yeah.
Similar looks, and one was somewhat bigger. And I said how, you know, Joe, people are saying Joe's better than R. Kelly. And I've been saying Joe was better. And I was like, I'm not really sure Joe could have been fucking underage girls for 30 years and the black community would have turned a blind eye to that. You know what I mean? I said, I don't think Joe has the catalog for that. You know? The label wouldn't be able to afford that. They might be able to cover a couple of sexual harassment cases, but underage girls, I said, you need to believe you can fly for that type of stuff. But
bro, don't let these lot talk. Yeah, that joke is funny, bro.
You know why it's funny as well, Ola? Because I'm not even talking about the cases now. I'm talking about how if you look at all the celebrities that went to prison, these were high roller dogs. This wasn't the first week they did it.
High roller dog.
The first week they did it. Yeah. Genuine couldn't pull that off.
I knew it. I was waiting.
Oh, do you know to that niggas, you crazy? You sold 500,000 copies. You can't date underage girls.
The guys in jail about to be in those cheese, man.
Niggas, you crazy? You can't afford. Do you know how many indictments R. Kelly got? But they've got charges on charges. R. Kelly's about to do a court tour. He's the first artist to do a tour of courts. In December, y'all come check me out.
we got t-shirts by the door. It's 1 for 15 or 2 for 20.
I got sold out shows for 2 weeks, y'all. Oh.
I'll be doing the court tour. It's called the All Rise tour.
Y'all come and place your judgment. See how you think it is. man. R. Kelly, 30 years, Ola, we said nothing because he was putting
get me to a city near you, just by report me to your local precinct.
R. Kelly wrote for everybody. He was pulling out the biggest. He had protection from everyone.
That's funny.
You don't think they saw that he was a pervert? But like you said, it's like the Escobar game. So what I was trying to point out in that joke is when it's a man of that stature,
yeah,
it's over. Not I won't say overlooked. It's less scrutinized because of what good he's putting into the world.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and you know there will be a lot of people who just don't want to see it or don't want to believe it. You know, you'll find a way to justify it because, you know, if let's say for example you ended up as R. Kelly's stylist, right, and you have really grinded as a stylist, you done dressed all the local guys and the celebrity. Somehow R. Kelly finds you and says, "I like yours. I want you to be my stylist." You're making more money you ever made. You feel like you've made it. Then, whilst you're, you know, flipping, measuring him, some girl comes out the back room and she looks a bit young. In your head, to keep the job, you'll do all kinds of mental gymnastics and acrobatics to explain it, because you ain't trying to mess up that stylist gig. It's tough, bro.
I mean, one of the stories, the girl said she went to the studio. I shouldn't even laugh, but the story was crazy. And she gets there, they take her phones, and you know, she said they were taking information about her family members. I'm thinking, how bad do you need this interview? If I show up to anywhere, motherfuckers start taking my pictures and I'm going home.
But you know what?
You know, she said they locked her in a room for 2 days. She said she was messaging family friends saying she's locked in this room, and everyone's like, "Call the police."
You're out here on WhatsApp using data to text your family members like, "Yo, I'm locked up." You ain't called the police?
And she said they brought her Chinese, some food, and it made her feel a bit funny. She said the next thing she remembers, she's waking up. R. Kelly is zipping up his. This is the first time she sees him, by the way. He's zipping up his trousers. I said, before I even get to that part, you've been locked in a room for 2 days. The motherfuckers took your phone, they didn't give you no food, and you still ate the Chinese they gave you. I won't take shit from those people.
And not a wonton from these.
I don't want an egg roll or nothing. I want to go home.
I want to open a fortune cookie there. I wouldn't even open the fortune cookie. What do you mean?
I don't want to know what the future holds.
Even if the note inside says you're gonna make it out alive, I ain't opening it, man.
And then, you know, he said, R. Kelly zipping up his trousers. He gives her a hug and grabs her ass and leaves. And then I think a few hours later, they let her go home.
Wow. Wow.
My next question was this: why is R. Kelly the only one on trial? Who is this mother? Who are the kidnappers?
Yeah. It's what I'm saying. Like, what's the whole point in, like, they were marinating her like meat? Like, yo.
She never saw R. Kelly in any of the 2 days that they came.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's when he came. She, you know, he did his thing on her. He's zipping up. That's when she first sees him. She's coming out of the days, and then next thing you know, they come back in and say you can go home now. Like, first of all, I ain't going nowhere because that building's about to blow up.
Bruh. It's wild. And she kept that quiet until then, or did she go to the police?
Do
you remember?
I don't think she went then.
Mad.
She said, to be fair, she said, I think the thing was no one would believe her. Then I agree, no one would believe her because the story is a bit wild. But now, now they have motherfuckers telling stories upon stories.
No, but like if she, for example, was texting her family members, they'd be able to know that she was stuck at this location for the past 2 days. If she just flipping called the police on the first night.
And plus, when you get home, change your family members. Because if they ain't heard from you in 2 days and you're texting them saying you're kidnapped, and they ain't pulled up to the building, I don't know what to say. I don't know
Bruh.
what to say.
You need to put out a vacancy on LinkedIn for new family members, man.
Because they don't give a fuck about you. My mom, if I text my family, I'm locked in Dr. Dre's studio. They're pulling up. They're pulling up.
Oh man, I might not pull up. I'll call the police to where you're at. I'll send something on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, come on, man. Even if you say, "Oh, I'm scared," or "I don't know what to do," or blah blah blah, call the police. Why are they texting her back? Call the police. You call the police.
Isn't it?
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, there's so much neglect in this story. It's actually a bit mad.
It's a bit mad, isn't it? Like, so I was just like, wow. But I remember I went on stage. I said he got he got convicted. I said 9 counts. Usually get like you bust like 2. You know? They're going on everything. They're going for the cookie in the cookie jar. They're going on a single charge. Usually you bust 2 at least.
Bruh, man, I'm sure like if he had double parked while he was recording that tape, you get 16 years for that double parking.
They claimed their ticket. He double parked while he was at the residence, which is another 5 years. No, they got. Once I saw the counts and I saw how many indictments, I said, "Listen, R. Kelly, man, approach them for a deal."
Bruh, if I was, the best thing you could do as R. Kelly is like every day that you're not fully inside, just drop a new song, man. Drop a new song.
I was wondering if he could release music when he was in prison.
Sometimes you can get special permission to, but I doubt they will allow it for him.
Okay.
In some cases, if they feel like it can help rehabilitate you to make music, then they'll let you make music, and you just kind of have to sneak it out. But yeah, I doubt they're gonna allow that with him, man. They're gonna be like, nah, this guy's not allowed to. He can't even sing "Happy Birthday" to another one of these inmates. Your singing days are over. But if he does it well though, like if he put out a couple tunes, people at least listen for the curiosity. Little money comes in, put that on your commissary. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have some good noodles and some cigarette packs to trade with.
You can't make love songs no more. I hear you calling. Hear you calling, bro. The warden, nigga.
What?
I don't see nothing wrong. What?
Well, you should have. You should have seen something wrong.
I tried to put a line in. I said, talking to a woman, you shouldn't ask a woman her age. I was like, that's what got R. Kelly in trouble.
Bro, you on fire today. I said it's rude to ask a lady her age.
They playing those games.
Oh man, that's funny.
You don't ask the age.
Oh man,
I need to know. I ain't picking up soap for nobody.
I wanna know.
It's just it's a.
Maybe that's why Joe didn't get caught up like that.
It's funny because everybody was like, I was a big fan of R. Kelly. I was a big fan of the music. R. Kelly himself, I never really took to him. I thought he was a bit slow. These interviews were always just on brand. 2 diamond earrings, pimping, blah, 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 blah. There was nothing. There's no substance to him outside. It was always an image. He never said nothing profound or nothing interesting to me. He called Joe an R&B scrub one time. I just thought to myself, Agbaya. So I never really looked at him interestingly. Like some artists, you pay attention to them off court as well.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, to be fair, I don't think I've ever
checked an interview or
I've never been like R. Kelly once said.
Right.
I've like R. Kelly sang or R. Kelly wrote.
Not even like his process inspired me. Where I watched him writing something or how he put the music together. He never really did those things. It was just eating ass and pissing on people. So I didn't really take much from that. They were talking about how they were selling the bootleg DVDs of his sex tape. Was he the first sex tape guy?
No. Pamela Anderson, I think, was the first proper sex tape.
Yeah, and then he was like,
Then,
December.
no, then probably Paris Hilton, I think.
But I think it was before Paris Hilton.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I think it was before Paris Hilton. I think it
Okay.
was when the internet was about. I think there was no internet.
Yes, they were because they were selling it on the DVD. You're right. You're right.
No internet.
So yeah. So it was probably Pamela, R. Kelly, Paris, Kim.
I said, if you're going to cancel R. Kelly, you might as well cancel the 90s. If you were born between 1993 and 2004, and your name's Robert, pissed. Your mom clearly named you after R. Kelly.
Oh man, yo, that's the thing, man. That guilty by association thing is a doozy because
Yeah, you
yo,
gotta
there's
get
too much
involved.
associated. There's too much
Oh,
associated.
I said it was a cold day, man. R. Kelly wrote for everybody. Not one character wouldn't have showed up. Not even you know what? I ain't saying he's guilty or innocent. All I know is when I was in the studio with him, he treated me with respect. That's all I wanted to say. He didn't even get that.
Yo, but can you imagine what must have been like for the guys around him who partied with him, right? The guys who partied with him must have been like either so divorced from what he was doing, it's like they pretend they didn't know, or they would have had to get complicit in it. Because if you show up at one of R. Kelly's parties and you start talking to a girl and then you find out later that she was 17 or something, you might be like,
I
"Whoa,
don't
what?"
think it was like that. I think he had his girls. You feel me?
Okay.
So if he had his parties, it would be the norm.
Okay, you think like the regular
Yeah,
girls
if
would have
he's
been
in
there.
the club and stuff like that. But did he see me in the club? Let me holler at you real quick. They're not gonna see underage girls around him. He didn't really move like that. There's no pictures of him, or there's pictures of him with the girls, but there's no pictures of him with those pictures can be explained as a fan taking a picture of R. Kelly. But there's
Yeah,
no pictures that suggest I'm in a relationship with these people.
yeah,
So he kept that side, but he has a thing for young women. There's no doubt about that. You see what I'm saying? And he used his status as the pipe of R&B to abuse that.
that name, bro.
There's so many lessons to learn there in the sense where we envy this guy who could sing. He was tall, good looking. You know, Ola, there's not much more you can ask for in life, you know. You can sing and you are tall and good looking.
And rich.
And then you became rich off of it.
Yeah.
And you're one of the greatest songwriters of all time. It's a godly lesson. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because someone like that is supposed to be nothing but successful.
Yeah.
R. Kelly could write a song that makes your grandma say, what kind of nonsense is this? And at the same time, right now, I was like, who is this writer?
Grandma will bring it up before her testimony at church.
Right. He could write the gospel. He could write the sex. He could write the raps. He could do everything. But that wasn't enough.
Man.
And apparently he was abused by his stepdad, was it?
Yeah.
Apparently he likes men as well. There was a boyfriend in there. They call him Baba. Again, I ain't even tripping. You know, if you like to swing both ways, you know, hey, it's 2021, baby. So I'm good.
But is that I want my llama?
Age too, though.
Was that I want my llama that you can't really, man can't find any way to just look past that, man. That's
For being the abuse.
no. I want small girls, yeah. Man, I can't get my head around. I can get my head around it in a theoretical sense, but in a practical sense of like hanging out, supposedly him hanging out by the schools and like, and telling the girls they can come hang out and then trying to like make them like, bruh.
Creepy, innit?
Do you know what it is as well? Like for me, it's extra divorce because I never even lived that life with women my age. I never like just picked up girls and brought them home for sex and that kind of thing. I tried to convert. So it's so far away from me. Like to get to the point where you do that with little girls, like wouldn't you feel nervous the first time you're sitting outside the school in your car and you're like, yo, like I might get nabbed on this or like this ain't right or whatever. Like I need to go speak to a therapist or whatever. But to like fully carry it out and do it over a period of time and get bold and like start locking girls up 2 days before you need them, feeding them laced Chinese food and you know what I'm saying? Like, all of this is like you're by that point you're so emboldened that it's normal now. You see what I'm saying? You bust case couple times or whatever, and you keep going and you keep sort of keeping this harem around you of girls, and it's like I really like you have to be so much closer to that lifestyle, I think, to understand how like the pathology of it, man. Anyway, we always get to R. Kelly at some point. These R. Kelly, Genuine, Chiggy, they keep making reoccurring appearances in this pod.
I mean, it's from a career standpoint, it's a tragic way to end it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, I don't want to hear no scandals about Chappelle. My heart can't take it. I need Chappelle to go out clean. Well, to be honest, I don't know what's clean anymore, but he already said that he likes to fuck feet. I think that's about as crazy as it gets with him.
So his wife.
Yeah, and it's his wife's. So
What?
no, because he said that. Well, I don't know if this was a joke or whether it was real, but he had a joke about how basically he cheated on his wife, and they sent the video.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was very funny.
He jerked off to the video quickly.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Bro, that whole bit was hilarious.
I mean, I'm not attached to celebrities anymore to the point where I need them to be squeaky clean. I think I need them to. I don't mind flawed people because we're all flawed.
Yeah, but I don't need them to be squeaky clean. I just don't want any wild stuff that calls them into question, like
the Cosby stuff.
Pardon?
Like the Cosby stuff.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I mean, Kanye is not squeaky clean, but there's nothing. I know that for you, he's basically all but cancelled. But for myself, there's nothing in there that would make me go, "Oh man, I can't rock with this guy no more." Same with Chappelle. Same with whoever else it is. I like Chris Rock and blah blah blah. They've all done things wrong. I know this for a fact. Yeah, they've all done wrong things. We're all human.
That was wrong.
What did Chappelle do that was wrong?
Yeah.
Well, he's probably cheated on his wife.
Well, that's not your business.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like that's what I'm saying, that it's, even though it's wrong, it's not something that I would. Pardon?
Why is he probably cheating on his wife?
Well, because of that joke, and people say a lot of truth in jest. Because every single special recently has been dedicated to her, sounds like an at the end, it's always like for Elaine.
I'm not gonna throw it out and say he's cheating on his wife, but it wouldn't surprise me though.
It wouldn't surprise me. I said he's probably cheating on his wife. I don't know if that joke was true, but if it was based on truth, it's not enough for me to be like, I'm never listening to this guy again.
Well, cheating on anyone's wife is not enough.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But the stuff that R. Kelly and Bill Cosby are convicted of doing, those are the things that are like.
That's what I call wrong, though.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Wrong, yeah.
So it's like
about that. That's your business. I can understand why he cheated on his wife.
I mean,
the temptation must be nuts. I want to suck your dick, Dave Chappelle. I don't even care if you're married. God damn, that's my weakness.
I mean, what's her name came out and said that she had a piece, Azealia Banks.
She said he denied that though on camera.
He denied that on camera.
Yeah, remember he said Azealia Banks said I fucked or something like that, and then he started laughing.
Yeah, I thought he actually confirmed it.
No, he confirmed he was aware it's out there, but he ain't fucked that. He ain't fucked that. She just says things for attention, man.
Wow, that's wild.
You know, them people that she said she fucked you, like, did she? Now, if that was Lil Kim, I'm joking. My point is, I don't see that as wrong. I see, hurting or murder and stuff. That's just wild. Even with Kanye West, it's only because I'm tired of the gimmicks. That's why. It's not that he's done anything wrong. I just don't really believe in anything he says. I just think he does everything for attention. But the music is still great, and I'm not invested in these people to the point where I need them to be anything other than make music. So when Kanye West talks about what we need to do with our lives, I'm like, why don't you go suck a dick? But when he puts an album out, I'm like, oh, let me hear that. I might not be.
So you did listen to the Kanye album?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah. You know why though?
I've been looking for someone to
I don't,
discuss
yeah.
Donda with.
I feel like the Jay-Z's, the Kanye's, and when they put an album out, I just feel like we say, "Oh, this album's great," because we just like them. When you really deep it, it's like it's just nice to hear new music every now and then. I've not played the Nas album back since. It's not like before when I buy an album, I'm waking up to it, I'm going to sleep with it. You know, now it's just like, yeah, 444. I'll put on a couple tracks if I like it. There's an album with Jay-Z and Jay Electronica. That album's phenomenal.
Okay.
But,
People have been telling me that Jay Electronica is phenomenal, and I hadn't really listened to him. I heard his verse on Kanye's most recent album, and I was like, guy's cold, man. The guy's cold.
The album with him and Jay, because
I don't know if I'd want to listen to a whole album of.
It's funny because it's actually Jay. It's Jay Electronica's album, but Jay-Z features heavily on a lot of tracks. But they did a back-to-back nicely. Some really good raps. But I find as I've gotten older, music is not a thing where I have to listen to an album no more. I just want to hear music if I have to.
And that's, to be honest, that's kind of the general approach. There's very few things where it's like we actually need the whole body of work. There's a lot of places where it's like,
anyway, not from Jay-Z or Kanye, because Kanye's never gonna top anything he put out when he was in his prime.
To be honest, I think with Kanye, he's one of the artists that I genuinely want to listen to a whole album. Him and Kendrick, because I know that they do thematic albums with narratives and arcs, and everything links up for a reason, and it's there because of that. And I think that for me that's one of the few things today that makes me want to listen to an album as a piece of work, as a body of work. Back then, if you wanted track 6, you had to buy an album. Doesn't exist anymore. Now we can just stream track 6. So it's like you have to kind of ask, well, why would I listen to your album as a body of work? Why would I not just take my favorite songs and add it to a playlist?
Also, there's no music videos. He's not on the radio like that. It's radio play like before. He's not touring this album, going to put up a nice little concert because of what the bangers we've heard.
Yeah.
Because he's making music again, you know? So it's a different feel.
Yeah.
Like, what, 4 albums? He didn't tour 1. He didn't tour 1. And I ain't touring that shit. I'm old.
Yeah.
I can't remember the words of my last album. So they put out the music and it dies down quickly because it's not like before where they were plugging the album, like you said, doing all those interviews, showing up on all those platforms. Now they do a little quick interview at home with Sway, and that's it. Showing up on the radio platform trying to plug the album. When's the last time you saw Eminem at an award show?
Seen who, sorry?
Eminem at an award show.
Oh, bro, man. You're not trying to do that no more.
Nah, but he will put an album out. Same thing as Nas. Nas ain't touring this album. There was no club song on this album. There was no song for there wasn't.
Yeah.
Even Kanye West. That would make at least 4 for the club. There's no club songs on that album.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest,
the first time you hear someone's album, she give me money, gonna get the album. You know? Oh, yeah. Family in the club. I'm gonna get 50's album.
Yeah, and I think the shift. I think people are making music for the car now, and people are making music for the house and for the the pedestrians and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's there was a time where people didn't even just make money for the club. People made music for the strip club. People made music because this is going to go off in the strip clubs around the country, and that's going to be enough to drive sales.
You mean Atlanta made music for that reason?
Well, yes, a lot of people in the South did, but that's what I'm saying. Like even the strip club was an industry in and of itself for the music.
Yeah. So, what I would say, Ola, maybe what you were trying to say is it influenced how the music was made.
Yes.
It influenced how it was made.
Yes.
There was a time where it was that kind of vibe.
Yes. Well, there was obviously that first run with 2 Live Crew and Uncle Luke and all that kind of stuff, the bass music. But I'm talking even about like, when you think about somebody like Mike Jones, that tipping on fofos, riding on fofos, like that, whether you realize it or not, was perfect for the strip clubs. It was the kind of music
from the South, though, Mike Jones.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Because the South brought their sound in it.
Yes, yeah.
So
And
it's like you like Trina
the
and
strip
them.
club had such a huge influence in it that one of the reasons Mike Jones blew up was because he used to go to the strippers and say, "Look, let me make a song for you." So you tell the DJ to play your song in particular, but all throughout the songs he'd be saying, "I'm Mike Jones." And I'm doing it for Sophia. Sophia with the cheeks, and she's clapping it higher, or whatever he's saying. And Sophia's obviously going to play it because that's her song. But everybody keeps hearing, I'm Mike Jones. Who's this Mike Jones? Then he puts out the song where he's like, I'm Mike Jones. And he gives his number. And like, you call the number, and it would. Some people said that he used to pick up. But it would just go to a voicemail of him saying, yo, this is Mike Jones. Leave a message for Mike Jones. So his whole marketing strategy was based around getting his name out wherever people are going to hear it. And the strip club was one of those places.
Yeah,
Very, very smart.
definitely. Strip club definitely had an influence on how music was made. And if you see Cardi B, she kind of brought that angle back as well.
Yeah, true.
So
But now it's not even strip club anymore. Now it's everywhere, strip everywhere. Girls are twerking in public. Girls are twerking in their houses. Girls are twerking everywhere now. It's not even like the strip club is even really. The strip club's obsolete, basically.
now it's just a case of everyone's more, it's hard to push the envelope now.
Well, yeah, this is it. I mean, look at lockdown when people were doing quarantine radio and demon time and all this kind of stuff online, bro. Yeah, people were coming on live with rappers to come and twerk and to pour milk on themselves and bust it open and stick stuff down their throats. Like, after a while, like, the internet's really putting a lot of these places, I guess unless you want to see it in the flesh, the internet's really showing out for everything you thought was risque before.
Mm.
So after a while, it's like, well, who am I making this music for? Some people now obviously make music for TikTok, so they think about things that people might want to use to make content with, and people make money for make music for the internet. They make music for the people who drive and listen to music while they do stuff because they know that a lot of music is streamed through mobile phones. It just makes sense.
It does. It really does. I guess it's the times, isn't it? You make music for the times.
Yeah, and a lot of people made music. Started making, like when the time when not Eminem, Kanye dropped an album, it was like 6 or 7 tracks. Everybody had like a really short album. It's because they realized that that's the best way to do the streaming. You don't get paid for having a longer song. You get paid for the number of streams. So if you can get the song done in 2 minutes and people listen to the next one and then they listen to your album again and then again, you're going to get more streams, make more money. So even streaming has affected how music is made.
Absolutely. All right, before we go, man, Tupac quote.
Yeah, bro. What's the
So,
Tupac?
in light of the Newcastle takeover, had me thinking a lot about people's reaction. So I took a quote from Hold Your Head in the Machiavelli album. And Tupac says, currency means nothing if it still ain't free. Money breeds jealousy. Take the game from me.
Currency means nothing if we still ain't free.
Money breeds jealousy.
Take the game from me.
Money does breed jealousy. There's a whole bunch of clubs jealous of Newcastle United, and Arsenal beat them.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. But that first part is the one that always gets me. Currency means nothing if we still ain't free. You're right, man.
It's interesting, but what does he mean by free, though? Isn't it?
Bro, I'm trying to figure that out.
Because in that respect, who is free?
Yeah, I haven't even told you, but I don't even know whether I wanted to say it on the pod or not. But basically, yesterday, I handed in my notice at my job, bro. Yeah. It's not like I got something else lined up. I just knew it was time. I just knew I had to hand in that notice. What I'm doing next, I'm trusting God for, but currency means nothing if we still ain't free.
God damn, I didn't mean to trigger. I don't want to make you life decisions based on Tupac quotes, dog.
No. Of course, obviously, I made this decision before you told me the quote.
Shit, you gotta reaffirm it then.
It's just, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's just when you're in that mind frame and you hear something like that, it kind of aligns, I guess, and it adds another layer to what you've been thinking already. So yeah, when you said that one, it just kind of aligned with where I'm at right now, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just knew it was time to
Oh yeah,
go.
I was grateful, man. They took it to Amsterdam, Paris, and you handed a notice on these motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, we had more trips planned, so I was like, it's best I go now rather than finish all the trips and then be like, yeah, this is yeah.
How does the wife feel? No wonder you're spending quality time.
Nah, she a little scared at my decision making. But sometimes I'm a big believer that sometimes when you've got a conviction, no one else is gonna understand. You just kind of have to make that decision for yourself, even if you are in a marriage where usually you'd say you discuss things, talk things through. I did tell her beforehand that this is what I was going to do, so it wasn't a complete surprise. But you know, for me to make that decision, it was a very, very strong conviction. And I still
Well,
feel good about it. I still feel amazing about that decision.
well, here's to the future, baby.
For real, man.
Cheers.
And on that note, let's wrap up. So, guys, as you can see, if you're watching this on the video, I'm back in the stew. But
You're gonna put the video up on you.
I do put the video up for the Patreon, and then eventually I release it on YouTube afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So I put it up on the Patreon first, and then right now season 1 is available on my YouTube channel. But
Let me video up though.
why not?
That wasn't video. You didn't tell me it was a video thing. I thought it was an audio thing. By the way.
Bruh. Anyway, the social media handles hit us up. So I hope this Zoom is a bit better. Actually, the audio hopefully should be a bit better because I'm back with the equipment. Pardon?
You sound amazing.
Fantastic. That's dope, man. That's dope. So yeah, guys, hit up Funmbi at Funmbi Omotayo on Instagram, at Funmbi on Twitter, and for me, you know what it is. It's at Ola the Comedian on everything. I put that on Neighborhood. All right, guys, stay blessed. Thank you, BQ Squad, for listening to the BQ Pod.
All right, peace.